Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first of our webinars focusing in on traffic lights. I want to show you the video that Mike Capewell has done. So for those of you who want to follow this through, you can go to the YouTube channel, and if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll be able to see BNI Southwest Midlands. Type it right, BNI Southwest Midlands. This is our own dedicated channel for all of the videos that we have, which are there to help members improve their performance as they go through and look at the individual things. You'll see here, as part of the leadership team, that we have a number of things that we can work to here. Oops, let me just. Sorry, I'm just going to close that. We don't want it. This is a visitor conversation, so this is one of the things that you could work with. But actually what we're going to be looking for is on this one. I'll do it again. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see at the bottom, Member BNI Traffic Lights, the reports portal. This is some guidance on how you can find the reports in the BNI portal. Now we'll take this through in a little while, but for those of you who are sitting there, let me just click on this and we'll show you this video. It's about 4 minutes 23 seconds long. So if you can have a look at this, and this, you can always revisit this on the chapter on the BNI YouTube channel. So here we go.
Hi there. Welcome to this short video which goes through how you can access your traffic light reports through the Aspen Consulting reporting portal. Firstly, you need to type in the URL to access the portal, which is reporting.aspenconsulting.com. That takes you through to our login page, and you can see here two boxes in the middle where you enter your username and password, which should have been sent to you via email when you joined the leadership team or BNI. If you do have any problems, you can get in contact with us via this telephone number and email shown in the top right of the screen, or by using our Forgotten Your Password function link just in the middle of the page under the password box. We're going to log in now as a leadership team member. Once you log in, you're greeted by our home screen. Our home screen's got two key tables on it. The first one here at the bottom of the screen goes through the different functions the portal has, and has a link here to the user guide for the portal, which is a full guide to the portal and all its functions. This table at the top here is what we call your primary reports. This is a quick and easy link to start selecting and downloading the key reports for your chapter. These can be member traffic lights or chapter traffic lights. Your full set of reports are available either by clicking the reports link in the information box at the bottom of the screen, or by clicking on the reports button in the menu that runs along the top of the screen at all times. If we click that, you can now see your full set of primary and here secondary reports that are available to you. This is as a leadership team member. If you'd like to know exactly what each report does and how you can use it to the benefit of your members, then please see our video that specifically is on enhancing member value through using traffic light reports, and that's led by the BNI Executive Director for South West Midlands, Peter Sylvester. Here we're going to demonstrate with the chapter report. Why are we picking this report? Because this report has information in it for all the leadership team members that they need in the different parts of their meeting, as well as member traffic lights. You'll note here in the middle of the table there's a short description of each report, which helps to remind you which one is which and which one you'd like. Let's click now, select, and pick the chapter report. This takes you through to the report options page, where you simply select the correct region, chapter, and if it's appropriate, members you'd like the report for. You do this by selecting them in the box, and you can use the Shift key to select multiple options, or by using the Select or Unselect options at the top of each box. Once you're happy with your selections, you'll see a Run Report button appear at the bottom of the page. And if you click this, this begins the process to download the report, which you should see appear after a few seconds as a PDF report. Here you can see ours has now appeared. It's a PDF format, which means it's very easy to print and email and share with members and the other members of your leadership team. It's split into two primary sections. Chapter highlights, which goes through all the different information such as renewals, business past, member traffic lights for the whole chapter that a leadership team may need to run the meeting and to discuss the progress of the chapter at membership committee meetings and leadership team meetings. The second element of the report is focused on the member traffic lights individually and looks at their last 12 months and tracks their score and the different elements in this score, showing the easy ways that you can help this member improve their score and get more out of the chapter. If you return back to the portal, you can always click back to access other reports, or again, if you have any problems at any time, you can get in contact with us via our contact details here at the top, or by using the support or feedback feature in the portal itself. Thank you very much for listening, and please do get in contact if you have any issues or problems whatsoever.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to look at those reports and we're going to interpret some of them. So the ones I'm going to be doing are exactly the report that Mike showed there on the video, which is the one for Warriors. And the whole point about this is we want to look at, as we're going through it, we want to look at the different ways that you can use these reports to enhance member value, to enhance the chapter processes, and see where the chapters highlights are so that we can celebrate those successes. So I'm going to log in now with my individual login. Now what you will see here is that because when you log in as part of a leadership team or as part of your own membership, you'll find that you can see just the chapter that you are responsible for. When you go to, when I log in, you'll see we have a choice of lots of multiple ones, but that's fine, so we'll do that. So first of all, I'm going to the top there and go to the reports menu. And what we're going to look at is we want to get to the chapter reports. So I'm going to go to the chapter reports. And here you see when it comes up here, you have a menu where you can look at lots of different things. So I'm going to, on this particular case, I'm going to go to the regional report there. And then I want to go to Hereford and Worcester. And down below you can see I can choose individual chapters. So I'm going to go to Warriors. So we can see as a regional report what's happening at a region, and I can also show what's happening at the individual chapter level. So please do, if you're on the leadership team, you'll be able to see your own individual chapters. If you want to know how you're comparing with other chapters on your region, you can speak to your area managing director and they'll be able to share this information with you. So what we're going to do now, we're going to run this report. And as Mike said, it pulls up a PDF, and the whole point about this PDF is you can actually use this and you can email it around to the other members of your leadership team. In this particular case, you can see here we've got the region highlights and the chapter traffic lights. So we just go down. This is the region highlights, and this is the highlights which tracks the performance of the individual chapters on the Hereford and Worcester region. Now what you can see on all of the reports here is that on the left hand side you have the current position. This is the latest report. This is the report as at the end of March. So this is the latest position for the chapters, and then here alongside it you have their consolidated position over the last 12 months. So it puts all the 12 months information together. And so you can see there, you can start to track immediately whether your chapter is going up or down or sideways. You can see exactly where they're going. Now if you look overall, the sort of things that when I'm talking with Roy about here is you can see the overall performance of the chapters. So this month the chapters have improved. You've got a number of them there in the amber, whereas previously the consolidated average there were only 3 in the amber, so it's going in the right direction. And when you look across here on the right hand side, you can then start to track the individual reports for individual chapters. And again, you can see that there's a number of activities that are being put into place so that all of the chapters are on the increase. There's only one there. There's a slight blip on Bilberry, but Bilberry has got a consistent performance there. Other than that blip there, when they went into the red in September, and they had a performance in February. Now, what we would be looking at here at Regional Office, and what Roy would be looking at, is what happened in Bilberry in February to get them the 70, because we want to try and encourage that month in, month out. So this is how we are tracking the trends in the individual chapters and seeing what we can do to move them forward. So let's go down to the next one. This is the same. This is just a stack diagram here. And if we go down to here, what you can see as a region is that primarily there has been an improvement across the region because there are no chapters now in the grey. Overall, the grey chapters have been eradicated, and we're working on growing those. It would be great if we had a few more greens, but this is all the direction that we're moving in. So this is an improving position compared to where it has been over the last 12 months. And what we really want to do is to get more than 50% of our members and more than 50% of our chapters in the green. That's our overall goal, 50% of the members and 50% of our chapters in the green. And ironically, if you focus in on the members, you will get the performance improvement in the chapters also. So this is how we try and work as we're using these new traffic lights moving forward. Then you also have a number of the individual stats, so it's good to know how much business is being passed chapter by chapter, the referrals, and the number of visitors. Visitors, as we know, is a numbers game, but the quality of membership is the one that decides how successful the chapter is going to be going forward. So we'll just skip through those, and then we'll go to the individual chapter traffic lights. Now this is for Warriors. This is for the Worcester Warriors chapter. And again, you have the stats. You can see the individual figures here based on the basis of individual months. You can see on the end here, and you can get through those. And here you can see how the chapter has moved in terms of its member growth. This is the member growth stat. You can see it's gone up and down, and in February it had an increase, where actually in February it went from here, from 25 members to 28 members. So it had 3 new members coming in. And that's the sort of growth that we're looking to try and input into all chapters, because as you know, the more members that are in the room, the more business is going to be passed as we go through it. So this is an interesting stat. Here you can see, this is what I call the risk assessment in the chapter. So for example, we can see this is the list of all the renewals that are coming up. And you can see over here in July and in August. In July there are 5 members who are up for renewal, and in August there are another 3. Now it's really, really important that we keep those in good focus, because it's no use handling the renewals on the week before they're due for renewal. We need to know way up front whether these people here who are due for renewal, and you can see them listed here, are they potentially a yes renewal, or are they potentially a no renewal? And you can see that from their individual traffic lights. So as a leadership team, we're asking all of the leadership teams to engage with the members who are up for renewal a full 3 months ahead of time to get an idea of whether they're getting great value from their membership. And the way they do that is by looking at their traffic lights, their individual member traffic lights. Now I don't need to tell you, if there was a problem in the chapter here, to lose 8 members potentially, there are 8 members there whose renewals, 5 there and 3 in the following month, that would leave a big hole in any chapter. So it's really important we know the health of these individual members, because that will help with the health of the individual chapters. And again, later on in the year, you can see there in, well, it's in February actually next year, there's another batch of renewals there. So when you're trying to assess the risk, if there is a risk, this is when all these people are due for renewal all at the same time. So this is the renewals, and this is how we look at the individual renewals. And then what you look at here are the individual elements of the scoring, and you can see how each individual element is working in your favor as a chapter. So here you can see the visitors went up significantly there, but there was an issue in terms of the net member growth. They were down in the grey for the net member growth, and that had an impact on the chapter going forward. Their attendance was amber, but their referrals have actually dropped a little. So if you were part of the leadership team and you were trying to set a goal, you would probably look at, okay, the referrals. We need to look at how we're generating referrals, and also the conversion score here. How many visitors are coming in, but how many are actually putting an application in? Now, we always say that really a really good chapter with a vibrant chapter would get about a 20% referral conversion rate. So, in other words, for every 4 visitors or 5 visitors who come in, 1 of them would actually put an application form here. Here you can see there is a situation where the conversion score, in other words, the visitors coming in, are not taking up the membership. So therefore, the new leadership team would want to look at that. Is it something to do with the layout in the room, or the way that the conversation is being conducted at the end? Are the members, the potential members, being given the opportunity to actually apply if that was the case? And you can see here also retention has been a little bit of an issue, so we've got to take care of that as well. So these are the things that the leadership team should be looking at to see what action plans they need to put into place, and how they can improve the processes in the chapter, because these processes are the most important thing. It's no point for the members putting a lot of time and effort getting the people in the door if the conversion is not happening. It says that something isn't right within the chapter for them to gain more and more referral, more and more conversions as we're going forward. So that's how the thing works in terms of the individual chapter. Let me now take you down again, and I want to go now back to the reports menu, and I'm now going to look at the chapter report here. So look at the chapter report again, Hereford and Worcester, and again Warriors, because now as we're drilling down, we're looking now particularly at the member development, because we need to look at not the dynamics in the chapter, but the dynamics in the membership. So here's the report coming up now for what's happening in the chapter highlights and the member highlights. And these are the reports that will be given a lot of visibility into the individual members. So as a leadership team, the leadership team have a responsibility to make sure this information is used professionally and in a supportive manner as we go forward. So let me just take this through here. Here you go, chapter highlights. These are the same highlights that we've talked about before, same format. This is how the chapter is the members are doing in the league table on the left hand side this current month, and this one here and the next one along is how they're doing on an average. So again, you can see, don't let the current month be a reason to take average. Look at the trends as it's going forward, and then you can see some members up here. I'm going to highlight a few members here in Warriors. Firstly, you can see this guy at the top here. There's a chap called Darren Wilkins, and 4 times in the year, one there, one there, one there, and one there, he's got 100 points, maximum points. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody who knows Darren. He was the one who received the accolade of being a member of the year last year. So it's quite understandable that he would be consistently one of the better performing members. The sort of things you're looking at, though, in terms of celebration is, I'm going to take you down to this guy here, who's a chap called Scott Harrison Jones. Now, the fact that there's 2 blanks there says he hasn't been a member for a full 12 months yet. And you can see as you track it from June when he joined, you track it along. He did the red, he was still learning. When he was in the red, he learned again, learned a bit more. Then he went up, and then he went into the green, and now he is being consistently a good member. And you can tell that from just looking at it, because there's 2 months there where he hasn't had a score to add in, and yet he's way up the league table here. He's more than halfway up. So he's got 555 points consolidated, and he's actually performing better than some members down here who've had 12 months worth of score. So what we're looking for here, again, is the trends. And you can spot the trends in success. You can also spot the trends which need to be looked at in helping people. So, for example, Pauline Newcomb. She was an okay member there, then she became a good member, and then something happened here. And it's down to the leadership team to spot these trends and go up and put your arm around the member and say, what can I do to help? You can also see that in December there was an issue. And it may well be that it was Christmas, there was only 2 meetings held or something like that, but everybody seemed to just take their eye off the ball in December. except our Member of the Year, who managed to still get 90 points, even though there was only 2 meetings held. So what we're saying is here, this isn't about beat them up, this is about helping them to make sure they get best value. And by the way, if you're on the leadership team, where do you think we would like you to be? Well, I can tell you we'd like you to be up here in the green. You've got to be leading by example when you're on the leadership team, and the best way to do that is look at your own individual performance. So here we're tracking individual member performances, and as we introduce the mentor program more and more this year, we're going to be asking the people who are at the top of the scale here to hold out their hand and help people down here who need help and assistance. Some people who still don't know what they don't know. Still things that the people who are in the green could share with the people further down, because it's very important that we try and act as a full team. And this is where the mentor program starts to work. And we're going to be asking the leadership teams to make sure that you buddy up people. So a good performer is also helping a performer who needs some help. So that's that. That's the same stack diagram. And again, here you can see the split. Again, we're trying to get more than 50% of the members in the green and 75% of the combined green and amber. So you can see here that it's moving in the right direction. Not got a big problem with the greys, but when you bring new members in, I should just say that new members, inevitably, they don't know what they don't know. So as you bring new members in, they're going to automatically drop into the grey. And here's an interesting point from a renewal point of view. Members who are in the green, 95 to 98% of the members who are in the green will renew. About 85% of the members who are in the amber will renew automatically. And that means the chapter has fantastic stability and builds and continues to build. When you get down to here, into the red, the figure is something like 50% of the members renew. When you get down to members who are in the grey when it comes time for renewal, well, there's two things. One, will they renew? The chances are they won't. But the other question we should ask, and this is a question for the membership committee, is people who are in the black after 12 months, what contribution are they actually making to the chapter overall? And members who are in the black or in the grey, we should be having a really good conversation with the membership committee to see what conversation they're having, what contribution they're making to the chapter and to the other members. Because frankly, if they're taking up a seat, it may not be in their interests or our interests to renew them. And that's a conversation the leadership team and the membership committee should be having. So that's how that works. Again, we'll just skip past the individual stats. Here you can see one of the stats which is really important though, which is the attendance report. And the attendance report we're looking, there don't seem to be any really big problems here in terms of absenteeism. You can also see how many times individual members are using substitutes. And again, what we're encouraging is all this information should be made public to every single member in the chapter, because the stats are the stats. It's part of their business and part of our business, so we should share the stats with them and we can see how we can help them. If we move on to the next one, here again, that graph that I showed you before, those are the members. Because a lot of members in July and in August who are up for renewal, so that conversation should actually be starting to happen now with those members to see what their intentions are likely to be. And before we have that conversation, we should look at their individual traffic light reports and see where they are likely to be going. And if we move on to the individual member traffic lights, this is where if you are one of the members, you can start to see what bits you can do to look at how you can improve. And this is a good one. Who's this? This is Andy Gwynn. And Andy Gwynn's performance, if we say to him, we know Andy can be a good member because here, in this month, he's been able to hit every one of the measures. You know, he's bought visitors, he's given testimonials, and he's got thank you for the business. That's thank you for the business score. So people have said thank you for the business to him. And when he started to do this here, look how it became habitual. He did that in November, and then in December he also did testimonials, and he also got people saying thank you for the business back to him in the period after that. However, if I were to suggest one thing that Andy should be doing, it's here. He's proven he can bring visitors in November, when I believe there was a visitors day anyway, but then that stopped. He hasn't brought any more visitors since, and so therefore we have to say, why are you able to bring visitors on that day, but then it's a continual process. So this is where we would continually ask Andy to bring more and more visitors and look what we can do. See here as well, this is the December issue, I think there was in the chapter, referrals given. There were very few referrals given in December, which had an impact on the chapter. But again, as part of the leadership team, you would probably spot this by looking at these things. So this is how you can see here, a member's done it, got it up to green, and therefore we need to look at how we can continue that and make it a habitual success as we're going forward. Next one's Anthony Brooker. Again, the same profile look. Hit every measure there. Perhaps training, it would be great if he came along to training. Anthony's been a great member for a long time, and his experience by attending the MSP would help other members coming through. He's a great one to become a mentor to help other people. But again, the visitors, and this may be a continuing trend in this particular chapter, visitor bringing might be an issue. And again, I hope you can see visitors, nothing in the visitors column at all. And I hope you get, oh, here we go, and this is Chris Green. Again, he's been in the green all the way through, so he's training, he's thank you for the business, people are saying thank you, he's giving testimonials, and he's bringing visitors. So this is how you can decide whether an individual is a good contributor to the chapter and the other members, or whether we need to still help them and coach them as we're moving forward. And there is Darren's. Darren is the, as I said, the member of the year. So you can see there that when he hits all of the spinning plates there, he gets 100 points. But even here, there's been an issue where the visitors in March and the visitors in February have dropped off. So this might be an initiative that the chapter would want to put together. So this is how we want you to do, and this whole point is about helping members gain more value. This is what we're trying to do, is to ensure that members gain more value so that we can help to make sure the stability in the chapter works and works very well. It's very much a coaching issue that we're trying to work with, and by using the traffic lights, we're hoping that we can continue to improve member value, and we can continue to make sure that everybody wants to renew in a really good chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just about 30 minutes. We've just about covered everything there. Let me offer the chance to you, if you wish to have any individual conversations about this and individual coaching, I'm very happy to get on the phone with you or to come along and invite the BNI directors to have conversations with you. This is about improving member value, and we really want to make sure that the chapters go better and better. You all know that we've got a Go for Gold challenge on at the moment, and that Go for Gold challenge means there will be a lot more new members coming into your chapters. So this idea of capturing people early and making sure that they can continue to add value to individual chapters and we can train them is a great opportunity. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. It's 6:30. Thank you very much for coming along to this webinar. There will be another webinar next Tuesday, and the topic there will be talking about social media. So please make sure your communications managers in the chapter and anyone else who wants to come along will join us for that particular one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon.